Greetings and welcome to Morbis Plays Besiege First Impressions Update. So having now conquered Ipsilon, and you see I unlocked another continent. There was one more I could do, which is partially completed, Tolbrind here. There are 20 zones in total currently. I've now conquered them all, and I thought I'd just quickly show you some of the vehicles I used to do this. So you can see I have 9 machines in total, which were effectively created in chronological order. So that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm just going to run through each very quickly now. First up we have Morbis 1. So in this vehicle I basically learned the principles of how you attach some weaponry, the key thing about bracing, and also I was adding these catapults, but this isn't finished here. You can see that these catapults don't actually work properly, and I moved on to a separate design. But for now I'll just show you firing off the cannons hopefully and destroying this big building. So let's go forward, fire, boom. There we go, conquer the zone, but we destroyed ourselves in the process because of those catapults, which I decided to leave and move on to the next vehicle. Next up we have Morbis 2 here, and this saw me learning about contractible springs, some principles about the catapults and hinges, and also you see I've got a steering hinge on the basket there which enabled me to tilt it forward so it actually can hold that explosive better. And then if I just tap L and then K, and there you go, and you can fire off the shot, and that is Morbis 2. That's a little bit learning about catapults. So this is Morbis 3, and for this video you can see I've slowed the time lapse down at the top to 25%, so it's kind of going in slow motion just so you can see it. Now as I fire off the cannons I've actually assigned each to a single key, so I can do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not being particularly effective there but you get the idea. I've also got flamethrowers, but again they're set at a bit high. This is actually created for a different level, not this one, so I don't think I'll be able to scorch them, so I'm probably just going to have to run through here just to drive forward. That should still get the job done, kill off these infantry guys, and then I'll show you the catapults which I have refined. Okay, so maybe let's stop there now and put the speed back up to normal. If you move back to 100%, 89, I'll probably just click on that, be easier. There we go, 100%. Let's turn it round, and now I'll show you the catapults in action. So you can see I've kind of redesigned it here, and they're on this horizontal axis and being pulled up by the springs. And now also these springs are controlled by 6, 7 and 8, so I can fire each individually. Let's now move this round a bit. So if we fire 6 first, there's 1, 7, 2 and 8, 3, boom, there we go. So that was kind of me refining my catapult system and working out that you could assign kind of different keys to different weapons, and yeah, there you go. Morbis 3. Morbis 4. This, as you can see, is a very basic vehicle which I just built for this level specifically. You can see it's got a steering hinge there, RNF, and a grabber on the front, and yeah, basically I used it to, I'll show you here. You can spin around, let's get that, move that down. There we go, grabbed it, and we can lift it up and take it to the point. Let's spin that round, and there we go, and drop it down. And you can use is it V to drop, there you go. And that, yes, that is a Morbis 4, just a very basic delivery vehicle. Morbis 5. So this should be considered very much a work in progress. It's basically me trying to refine the catapult system. Let me just show you it firing now. That key, there we go. So that's set that on fire. It's not ideal, but I'll show you the principle. There you go. So it's got suspension now, so it can effectively fling it and bounce back. And then also I've got a feeding mechanism here, which I've been working on, and using RNF. You can see that's hinged. So ideally I'm going to kind of have some additional cannonballs there to be able to reload it. But as I say, this is Morbis 5, and this was essentially a work in progress. Morbis 6. So here you go, you can see this was my first effort at a flying machine. Now I've got altitude controls. You can see I've got a rotor blade on the top there, and also ones on the bottom so I can move up and down. And likewise I've got various rotor blades around the side, so I've got every direction you can want to move in, you can do so. It is not the most stable though. It is not my finest design, but it got the job done. So let me just show you. I've got to kill this flock of birds. I've got rotor blades on the bottom there. If we move into them, see, there we go. So I can slightly to that way, gain a bit of altitude. And yes, you can see them there impacting into the blades and the surface. I did actually use this to kill sheep. It was on the level where you've got to kill a number of sheep, and I was kind of dropping down on them using these rotor blades. But there you go. Again, you get the idea. Omnidirectional movement. Yep. Morbis 7. So not particularly interesting. It's basically a little design here, just with suspension, in order to give manoeuvrability. That's the main purpose of this vehicle, just to be able to get around. So I should be able to get up here okay. There you go, get through that point. Off up the top, change the angle slightly, that should do it there. Drive, 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 up and over we go, and fall down, and stage completed. So yes, not a particularly interesting vehicle, but just a base design. Morbis 8. So this saw me experimenting with whether you can have two separate entities as vehicles, and you can do. So if I click on that, I've got 8 IKNL, and I've got this set up to fire on 1, 2 and 3, so I can do 1 there, clear away that mine, and 2 there, should get that one, there you go. And then what I do is just drive through. It doesn't matter if I get destroyed, I'm going to catch on fire, maybe just go get to this other mine, just destroy that, boom, 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 and then I can move the camera back, and pick up my main vehicle here by middle mouse buttoning, and now I can control this. So there we go, set off again, and I've got effectively an entirely separate uninjured vehicle to make my way to the end zone. And basically the experimentation here was whether you can use drones, and you can. So what I was saying, I can kind of set up a large vehicle, I've got these independently as well, and have it detach with lots of detachable drones. So yeah, lots of scope I think with this principle involved, where you've got kind of different elements which are independently controlled. But in fact, rather than me just destroying one, I'll show you, in fact I can just drive straight into it with this one. There we go, doesn't matter, because I've got a backup vehicle here. Oh, which has caught on fire, what were the chances? And finally we have Morbis 9 here. Now this is effectively a raised bed of guns. You can see those cannons, they're hinged at the back here. I've got a suspension on the wheels, and it enables me to kind of aim these up and down. So I can change their trajectory, which is useful at this level, so you're basically taking out airships. So let's just bring this round, check that's aimed up, probably bring back this way a little bit. There we go, so you're basically lining up. I can fire the cannons independently, so let's aim that up just a little bit. Yeah, that should be good. Fire off cannon 1. Boom, 1 airship down. 2 more to go, so we can probably continue in this direction there. Oh, be careful, there's a spinning blade, so don't really want to drive over that. If I lower the bed, that should make it a little more stable for movement. Okay, let's continue in this direction. There we go. Right, another airship there, we should be able to take it from this range. Aim up. A little bit higher, yep, 2. There we go, another airship down. Now I could continue down the middle, but because of those sheep, once it's been blown up, so we can probably go that way maybe. They will chase after you and destroy you. I'm a bit worried about going around this way, so maybe we'll just play it safe, and what we can do is spin around the back. So this is quite fast. There we go. Just going to drive around here and go and get those remaining 2 airships. Now I'm not sure if this is intentional to allow you to kind of drive around the outskirts here. But you can do, which makes this a bit easier, so you can avoid exploding sheep if there are any. Right, so there's that airship there. Let's just get him. I don't want to get if you get directly underneath, then there's a risk it will drop on top of you. But I'll quite like to show you. That's quite a nice angle shot, isn't it? So let's do 3. There we go. Maybe pull back a little bit. Yep. 1 airship remaining over there. So let's spin this round again. I'm going to lower the guns for now for the move to improve manoeuvrability. Let's skirt around here. Oh. And change the camera. Still a bit fiddler. I still find having to kind of take your hands off the keyboard, because you're using the arrow keys for movement, and WSA and D to move the camera backwards and forwards, but then to rotate the camera you've got to use the mouse. Right, so that one's looking nearly above us now. Spin that round, aim the guns up. See if you can't get a better view. That should do it, I think. Okay, 4. Yeah, there we go. Boom. Final airship down. And the zone is conquered. So that's been it. I've just shown you the 9 creations that I've used, basically playing through the early stages of the game. Hopefully in the future I'm going to show you some very complicated large creations. But for now, I'll say I've been Morbis. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and goodbye for now. I should also mention that this game is Besiege. It is available in early access on Steam. It is by Spiderling Games, and yeah, if you like the look of it, I highly recommend checking it out.